Basically, what you need to know is that something exists beyond the physical world. And when it's observed by someone or when they come in contact with it, they know, you're certain it's something that is familiar, almost like it was you in a past life. There's this connection you have with it. And it's an emotional connection, it's a physical connection, but there's no form. It's nothing changes about your environment. You just become one with this entity. And I've thought about it for years and years. I've written songs about it. I've theorized. I've tried to apply it to physics and meditation and stuff. But what it is, in my opinion, is a window into what happens when we die. And you have to refer to it with the best language you can, because there's no word for it. It's not an experience that most people have. So when you take psychedelics, it can come to you, and possibly there are other ways to experience this, but embedded within the fabric of space and time, just underneath the surface of every object that exists around you, and stretching infinitely in all possible directions and corners, is this that is undeniable in its magnitude and significance when someone experiences it. And you start to hear it laced in things like some sort of thread and a fabric. I mean, song lyrics will change, their meanings, you'll understand more. It seems like really a veil is being lifted. Like I said, I really didn't even know about anything like this. I had a friend who was a little bit crazy, and he's no longer with us, but he was up on the thing, right? And he said, check this out. And he would knock and he would ask a question. And then, whatever happened afterwards would be like a sign, and he would, follow this thing. And then maybe a couple weeks later, a month later, or whenever it was, I wasn't even with him. I took a bunch of shrooms and came into contact with this other terrestrial object, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it sort of folds out into this story, and I'm not sure where the story originates, but like if you look at like a grid with like two red dots and the rest are just normal colors, what you see is you see the story begin to unfold, and the red dots are now the eyes of the grid monster. And people know about it. I don't know how many psychonauts are on this channel, but if you watch my talking videos other than my music videos, you might know what I'm alluding to in this. But really, um, while we're on this side of things, all we can do is try to learn about it and try to figure out how things work here. I think it should be the central focus of everybody's life. If you know anything about the Tibetan Book of the Dead, or anything about the Corpus Hermeticum, or anything about psychedelic anything, art, Alex Gray, Tool, Sacred Geometry, Da Vinci Spiral and stuff, you might know that, it's an internal experience, and it's very significant to the spirituality and to the soul, and to the understanding parts of our brain. Psychedelic experiences can show us who we really are. You know what I mean? Not that we can't know that without them, but my point is that this connection that you can have with this otherworldly esoteric thing in a clear-headed mind state, and know exactly what it is, and just think, why is it so hard to find when I'm not tripping? And that's the main question, is how can we prove the existence of this thing without taking psychedelics, or without having somebody else taking psychedelics and then opening them up to it? To quote System of a Down, life is a waterfall. We're one in the river and one again after the fall. And so I think what it is just that, one life exists, and it's sort of manifested into the building blocks of all life, and we're little microcosms, and we're one. And now this doesn't mean that we are all together. It means we are each one. We are at one in the river, and at one again after the fall, when we die, which is somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep. Okay, and I'm going to get right strike by Serge Tankian. Energy flow, and sure. So certain metaphysical ideals have higher levels of structure, and the energy can manifest in ways on those levels that is more interesting, but it's harder to, you know what I mean? It's harder to take as much. There's an inverse between the higher level of thinking you are on and the amount of information you can take from it when you come back to a normal level. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, it's something worth thinking about, and it's something worth checking out. I'm going to check out right now. Bye.